everyone, this is Sarah. Today I have a monthly video update for you on what's going on with my writing and also an edit with me, because what I am editing in this video is much of what the monthly update is about. A couple of things before we get to what I'm editing. The Help Wanted New Devil audiobook is almost finished. I've been listening to snippets that Gona has been editing as she can. It's amazing. I am so excited that if you've read the book, there is the onboarding orientation ride to the afterlife that is breaking down and creepy and weird and has the worst song in the world on purpose. But what she did with that audio was just so creepy and so much fun, and I love it. I'm so happy with it. So that will be, I'm trying to figure out how we're going to manage the sales on this. I was going to set up a store with my webpage with Wix, and I'm not really thrilled with the way that works. I was going to do it in a Square website that I have. I'm not really thrilled with that. I don't want to put it on Audible. I have Amazon issues, Amazon trauma, Audible trauma as a creator, and I don't think Gona wants it. We've deliberately tried to stay out of that system so far. There will be some content of it on YouTube, sort of a palette wet. I'm going to wet your palette with some samples and then encourage you to buy the whole book until a certain point where I will make probably an AI edition of this just to keep it up here for free. But that's a different project that we're not getting into. But what I think I might try is Etsy. It wouldn't be a digital download traditionally because you would get a personalized download link from the place I want to store it, which is BookFunnel, which stores all of my ebooks for short stories and newsletter bonuses and stuff like that. So there might not be the smoothest system. I would love a Shopify shop, but we're not there yet. So that's the status of the Help Wanted New Devil audiobook. The #RescueMe audiobook will also be up for sale at around the same time. That's an AI one that you should be able to listen to here on YouTube right now, anytime you want. But I will have a version of it that you can buy. Whatever I figure out for Help Wanted New Devil will be what I do for #RescueMe. Crowlack and Bribery will continue to be available in Audible for at least another 6 to 8 months. It depends. It depends on a couple things. I might be able to wrestle Bribery out because Gona did the audio and I think she's open to negotiation, but I'd have to do a little digging for the Crowlack narrator to see if I can get her to accept a buyout, which may or may not be possible. But until then, I might continue just giving that one away for free. If you want a free version of that audiobook, please just leave me a message in the comments and I will figure out how to get it to you. What else is going on? My brain is abuzz with the second book in the Enduring series and future books in the Enduring series and how these all these books connect to each other, including my romance books. Let's just say ideas have happened and things are being committed to, and I'm really excited. And I wish I had like a year sabbatical where I could just like take the year off and write all these books and afford to edit them and publish them right away, because that would be so much fun. But I need to eat and I have a full-time job that while I could probably negotiate a sabbatical for that, I don't know if I'd want to. That's something for me to talk to my boss about someday. That'd be a curiosity. What else? Okay, that's really it. Because the rest of this update revolves around what I'm editing, and this is Harshug. This is the very first draft that I am going through and editing at the studio on the one weekend. You can see my little witchy notebook off to the side. I have my highlighters, my sticky pads, my drinks, my little solo cup full of M&Ms that I snack on while I'm writing and editing. So here's the current status of the plan. Always remember, one of my strengths is called strategic, and someday I'll talk more about the Clifton strengths and how I relate to them. But one of my strengths is that I'm very strategic. But for me, strategic means I'm constantly evolving the strat. Like, I'm really good at creating strategies, but I'm really shitty at committing, because it's like a chess game. I have lots of little strategies, but your move will dictate what I do next. And I'm a shitty chess player because I only think of strategies. I just can't make a decision sometimes, and I let other people make the decision for me. Anyway, so Harshug, after talking to Samantha, my editor, she's going to try and edit. She has time for me to be edited in August. This gives me a little less time than I was hoping to edit the book. So my plan for July's Camp National Novel Writing Month had been to work on the Enduring book number 2. That's scrapped. I'm going to focus on Harshug entirely. It doesn't need a huge overhaul the way like my romance books and the Enduring books do. But what it does need is some love and affection, and to have me focus on it instead of rushing through it to get it to where it needs to be in June, which is already a week in. As I am recording this, it may be 2 weeks or 3 weeks in by the time you're listening to this. So it's really difficult for me to say, like, of course I can do that. I have recognized that I am not giving myself enough rest physically, and I am still in surgery recovery, so it is very important that I get enough rest and recovery. I don't want to exhaust myself just to get a book out. But I need to respect the schedules of those around me, and so my goal is August for the rewrite. There's a lot of little things I need to do, a lot of emotion. I'm highlighting details I like that I want to see if I can bring out. There's little notes I've made to myself in periodic places, and I'm like, make sure you do this in this chapter. And I'm like, did I do this? I don't even know. Then there are characters, and I'm like, did I follow through with this character? We could use a little more emotion. I'd love to bring out a little more detail about things that are going on in the scene, even though some of these stories, it would be weird. But I'm playing with that. And my July is going to be a bit truncated because, and if you've been watching the catch stuffing videos, which I know very few people are, but I'm going to Harvard for a week. I'm really excited about it. It's their Department of Education that teaches professional development courses has a program for academic librarians to level up your career from sort of, rank and file to leadership and management. And I've been trying to do this program for half a decade minimum. In the middle of the pandemic happened, and my plans had been derailed. Now they're back open, and I am free to, time-wise, do this. So in the end of July, I will be spending a week deep diving into academic libraries. I would very much like Harshug to be done. Since it's only a 32,000 word book, that is feasible. And if I have extra time and energy and I haven't, exhausted myself, I can work on the Enduring series just a little. I want to work on that periodically through the year rather than trying for a Camp Nano project, just because it's different. It's a different book. It needs a little more of a heavier hand than the Frozen Wasteland books do. Mostly because I have a lot of anxiety about sharing this very close and personal story with you all, because it's a very important story in my brain. But I want to share it. I am very, very excited about it. I just want it to be perfect. And this is triggering a lot of emotion for me. So I just want to focus on Harshug and not deal with those emotions right now. So what does this mean? I don't think this is going to change the publication plan. I think this can still be done and ready for you by October. And let me know your thoughts on this in the comments or in the newsletter if you're watching this from the newsletter, because I'll probably have asked for it. I want to do this as a Patreon release with exclusive access for a year before it actually gets published as a book. It's a little tough doing it this way, but I think we can. But to wet the palate and make sure everybody is on the same page, I'd like to start the Patreon with a read-along. And it would be for the first 2 books in the series, and it would give you a chance to influence, because you would identify interesting storylines that you would like to see continued, characters you might like to see come back, how you might like to see them come back. Because Krowlak is something I already give away for free, I would allow you additional access to and I'm giving away the audiobook for free. You might be able, we'll figure out something, but I would definitely give you Bri-Bri or the ebook or the audiobook for free as an additional bonus to sign up. And this would be something we would do in the first few months. And I don't know if it would be before I start sharing Bri-Bri or in addition to sharing Bri-Bri. But it would be something to get us started, to make sure that everybody reading has read everything, because this is an interconnected series at the point of Harshug. When Harshug starts, both Krowlak and Bri-Bri will come together. Everything is now clear that these are sequels, and so it's important that you are up to date with both for me. Which, is not always going to be the easiest thing to manage for readers who might just randomly pick up a book. But this would allow us to all work together to read the book, to answer questions, to share interesting points. Would you like that? Would you do a Patreon? In exchange, you would also get a free copy of Harshug at the end of the exclusive year. You would not have to pay extra. Certain tiers might get the paperback. There might be only 2 tiers. It probably is easier if there's just one, but, things are the way they are, kind of stuff. So tell me in the comments below if you'd like to do that. What else am I working on in fantasy and horror? Not much else. That's kind of what I have the energy for. It's taking a lot. Harshug's going to dominate my plans. Oh, I am opening a sticker store. I have lots of stickers. I have lots of swag. I got new pins of death. They're plastic pins, like the charms that everybody loves these days. So like in a hard acrylic kind of thing, not a metal pin like a Disney pin or something like that. But they're super cool. They're death. They're about 2 inches. They're going to go up on a store, and it's going to be an Etsy store. It's going to be one Etsy store for my romance and my fantasy and the horror and some of the savings challenges I'm putting together, and whatever I create for writers. And it's just going to be one store. There will be book bundles there as well, and I should have that ready to share with you by the end of the month, because that's something I do while I'm sitting on the couch and watching murder documentaries. Side note, have you watched Shiny Happy People yet? The Duggars documentary on Amazon Prime. I have a lot of horror vibes coming off of that, and that might be where some of my interconnection ideas come from. But we'll talk about that when you read Harshug. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking here. The video has been sped up for you so that you don't have to watch it in silence for too long. But I'm going to finish out the editing session. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video and this update, leave comments. Tell me what you liked, what you would want to learn more about. Give it a thumbs up. If you hate it, give it a thumbs down. I really don't care. Just tell me what you think, because that's what I'm most interested in. And subscribe to the channel, because I'm doing more than these audiobook and monthly updates. I'm doing a lot of budgeting and money management for authors, including cash stuffing, which I became very obsessed with this year. This last month, actually, not even this year. It's a deep obsession, and it is going to have something to do with something someday. Not because I have plans, but because this is how my brain works. I get obsessed with something, and I need to turn it around and share it with everybody. And I like to share through fiction. So, thank you. I look forward to talking with you more in other videos or in next month's update. Bye.